Howdy, friends. It is I, Handington. I am very tired. I am pretty sleepy. I've been doing a pile of work on various things, and I don't have too much of an episode, but while I have been working on said things, I've been listening to the new LS Mark video, which won't be new for long, where he ranks every episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, and my gosh, is it good. I mean, I agree with, almost everything. And it's the relatability just touches a certain part in my heart. It's good. Anyway, so he had talked about Spongebob Roundpants, and it made me think, oh right, the Spongebob Roundpants, as well as a number of things about SpongeBob episodes back when it really declined. They had so many ideas that made me excited as a kid, where I was like, oh man, I really wish that they could do this premise, but good, and then they never did. And it would make me very disappointed. I want it to be better, and it just wasn't. And sometimes episodes would spark my imagination, where it would end up being like, oh, hey, here's this kind of fun thing that it could be. And I'd think about how it could be better. And I remember there was a special that I never got to really watch. I had only heard of it through other reviews. I think I saw a little bit of it, because it might have been on at some point. It was just like, oh, well, I want to watch this from the beginning or something like that. Basically, from what I know of SpongeBob Roundpants, the entire point is all of his clothes get shrunk in the wash. He doesn't have round pants, and he doesn't have square pants anymore. And it acts as if it's like the amnesia plot, but for everyone else. Nobody recognizes it. And I was so hoping that it would be something more interesting. So here's my retelling of that from when I was younger, because I totally forgot that I basically had a whole rewritten version because of what I wanted it to be. So you see, it was something like, oh, they should get shrunk in the wash. He's out of the little foldable things that he'd have in his closet. He's just out. So he gets the round pants, and nobody recognizes him. But they'd be smart about it, because they'd be like, well, I'm SpongeBob SquarePants. It's just really, you can't tell, or something like that. And it's like, no, SpongeBob has SquarePants. And he's just like, but I'm still myself. And then they would point to his cousin Stanley or somebody in his family, where it's like, hey, they look similar, but they don't have the thing. So it's like, we're not going to do that. We know who SpongeBob is. He's our friend. And I could do something kind of like that, but I kind of wish SpongeBob messed something up that was really big in the town before. It's just like, hey, who are you? And it's just like, sorry guys, it's me, SpongeBob. It's just like, no, SpongeBob wouldn't mess up like this. And then eventually SpongeBob would get his pants fixed, or he'd be able to get more of his square pants. And then it would end up being that the round pants are like a Jekyll and Hyde situation, where whenever SpongeBob would want to do something in public that he wouldn't want to associate with himself, he would end up having the round pants, so he could get away with doing bad stuff. And you get to see that side of SpongeBob, because sometimes he would have a more mischievous side. So then, you'd see other antics and stuff like that, and eventually it would end up getting out of control. And then, I forget exactly how it would resolve. Either SpongeBob would end up admitting to the bad stuff that he did, and then trying to make up for it, or he'd make up for it, and it's just like, that's the SpongeBob we all know and love, and it's good to have you back. because we know that you'll mess up, but don't worry, we'll still be accepted anyway, or something like that. Either that, or it would end up being slightly more like the other plots, where it's just like, okay, well, he did those things, he feels remorse, but he can't do it, and he throws the round pants away, and then somebody would pick it up, and then they would end up being accused, or probably like somebody would end up being a jerk. I imagine if they wanted to mess up the ending like they tend to do with episodes, Squidward would suddenly have the round pants, then for no reason it would be like, oh, there you are, and then he would get punished for no reason. And it's just like, well, he doesn't even look like a sponge at this point, so there goes all the point of that. So that would suck. Wouldn't want that. But I could totally see that being how they would end one of those episodes from the garbage seasons. And it's just like, so besides, I've already written a bad ending for it that I would also have to then have a rewritten version of the ending for that would be better, which is the first one that I said. And that's my version of Spongebob Roundpants that I've wanted to mention ever since I was younger, and totally forgot until I saw this video and remembered it existed. So I hope you enjoyed. I wish I actually wrote it out, but I know I would not have done a good job at that point. I would have just had the ideas. What else was I gonna say? Alright. Was it like literally I would just have written it, and it would have just been like the plot synopsis. I wouldn't have actually ended up writing out the full story. I would have wanted to, but I would do that. I'd start it, then I'd be like, oh man, I want to do this in the future, and I never would. So there you go. I finally fulfilled a weird thing, I guess, because I had from my childhood, so I guess you could call it a childhood dream. You did it. You're here to witness it. And I'm not here to witness it. I'm half asleep. I'm barely going to remember that I recorded this. Bye.